What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Front Yard Fantasy Podcast live stream. Time zone Thursday. They both start with T, but it's a different T sound. I apologize for anyone that jumped on 2 p.m. Eastern. I've switched time zones recently for a couple days, and I'm so used to setting the stream up in Central Time. Threw it up for 2 p.m. like always. Dude, it's 3 p.m. here. The time zones got me once again. Dude, it gets me every time. I hate time zones. The only time it doesn't get me is if it's got to be more than 9 hours. Know what I mean? Like if you swap me up, throw me on the other side of the world, then I know it's messed up. Then I'm like, for sure. But if you mix me up by 1 or 2 hours, I'm going to stay confused until I get back to my own time 100% of the time.
Hey, I'm right there with you, Simon.
Football's going to be weird this weekend, not being at noon, 3 and 7. I'm going to be ready for the games and be hurrying to get my lineups in. And I'm going to realize I have a whole nother hour until the games start. What makes it even worse is I'm so used to communicating in Eastern time. So I'll say 3 o'clock, but I know in my head to subtract an hour. So I'm not even thinking in Central Time usually. I think in Eastern and do it. So it's all shades of messed up. Enough about my time zone troubles, my woes. How are you guys?
I'm good. I'm doing well.
I didn't even introduce you guys today. As always, Josh and John Luke are here. They need no introduction. That's why I skipped them. And I'm Simon. We are Front Yard Fantasy. You guys can find us on YouTube at Front Yard Fantasy and on Twitch at Front Yard Fantasy. Follow and subscribe over there. We play fantasy game show games, answer your questions, and just talk about football nonsense and sometimes Christopher Nolan and Quentin Tarantino. You never know what you're going to get on here.
Time out. I saw Tenet, the new Christopher Nolan movie.
Someone was just saying that to me. Someone was just telling me that they were not a fan of Tenet.
No, he tried. It was too much.
Don't you slander Christopher Nolan on here, Josh? That's
not
what this is for.
Christopher Nolan.
Do that on your own time in the mirror.
Have you seen the movie?
Not yet.
All right.
I don't let the opinions of inferior people, obscure my view.
That one hurt. Well, I want you to see the movie. I want you to talk to me about it because I don't think you're going to be able to. It's that confusing.
Okay.
Guys, we're starting out with a pretty hot question from Carson here. Choose one. DeAndre Swift and the Lions are playing the Titans. Melvin Gordon, the Broncos are going up against the Bills, or J.K. Dobbins going up against the Jaguars. Full PPR. Who are you starting this week? Josh, let me know.
Honestly,
let me know.
Between these two, I'm starting.
There's 3.
I'm starting one of the rookies personally, and I'm letting you know. And for me, I think I'm starting DeAndre Swift. I like both J.K. Dobbins and DeAndre Swift's roles in their offense. They're growing. I think Melvin Gordon's kind of going not the opposite way, but it just doesn't feel like it's growing. I'm starting DeAndre Swift against the Titans here.
I want to say Dobbins. He's got the best matchup, and he's so talented. I just can't do it. They were using Gus Bus like nobody's business against the Browns. They were using Mark Ingram.
Using Dobbins.
They were using Dobbins as well. Dobbins had a good game, but
it's a three-headed monster kind of though.
I'm going to go DeAndre Swift as well. I don't like the Melvin Gordon matchup. Dobbins scares me with that 3-headed backfield, like Josh said. I think they're going to, with Matthew Stafford out, they're going to try to lean on DeAndre Swift a little bit more, even if they can. So I'll start Swift.
Is Stafford officially out?
From what I know, Stafford is officially out, right?
Okay. I know he was
real quick.
Questionable, but
I'm going Dobbins here. I don't think Swift is a bad move. They are close, but the line on this game is minus 13. So Ravens are heavy favorites, and even if it's a 3-headed monster, they're still using Dobbins as goal line. And I think
except when they use Gus.
Sure, but it's enough that he's relevant. He's getting you points. Yes, it's a 3-headed monster, but it's not making him irrelevant. And so
I agree.
That just tells me that there's more room to go up, right? If it's a 3-headed monster and he's relevant, then that's kind of a pretty high floor. And so if if the game script goes his way, I could see them leaning on him.
I don't hate starting Dobbins. That's definitely my number 2. I'm just going to take the more clear backfield situation here with DeAndre Swift, and that's the only thing that edges it out. But if you shouldn't be upset having to start either of these guys.
Nah.
Joshua wants to know if we guys do week 15 start sits. We
Yes,
don't
we
put
do.
out start sits ourselves, but if you have start sit questions, we love answering those. That's our favorite thing to do.
Ask them here, ask them on Twitter, wherever you can find us. We'll get you an answer.
Scream them loud enough if you're in the Atlanta or Baltimore area and if you're in the Atlanta or Baltimore Oreo and you scream loud enough, we might hear you and we'll scream the answer back.
What's that, like Cleveland? Like, is that in between? No, never mind. That wouldn't work. Georgia, Baltimore. It would be like Virginia.
Cleveland is further north.
It would be like Carolina.
Would
South
that be
North Carolina, probably.
Toronto? I think Toronto is directly in between the two.
Tennessee, I think.
Oh, Toronto. Yeah, maybe Egypt. I don't know.
Egypt. Wow.
Who knows?
Geography, not. You know what? I'm not even going to say it. I'm good at geography. Not Josh's strong suit. Joshua, he wants to know start 2. Josh Jacobs, DeAndre Swift, Aaron Jones, or Cam Akers, full PPR. Slam dunk Aaron Jones. Yeah.
Aaron Jones. Start Aaron Jones.
The next one is a little bit tougher for me. Weirdly, like with this list of running backs, DeAndre Swift is the odd guy out for me. I would put him 4th on this list, and he's a really good start. This is a solid position to be in. I'm slamming Aaron Jones, and then I'm really, really tempted to ride the hot hand and go Cam Akers over Josh Jacobs. I just don't know if I have that's my answer. I think it's Aaron Jones and Cam Akers. That's what I'm going with.
Same. That's another massive favorite, the Rams against the Jets. And so again, game script, it could go Cam Akers' way, and if they use him a ton, I mean, it's the Jets.
It's the Jets, guys.
That's
all you gotta say. It's the Jets.
Yeah, and Josh Jacobs, like, he's going to get carries, but man, you never know when he's going to get pulled from the game. They're just trying to keep him fresh. He's not super involved in the passing game. Either is Cam Akers, but Cam Akers, they seem okay with giving him plenty of carries. So
the one thing is
Cam Akers this week.
This is a must-win game for the Raiders, like period.
And Rams
for fantasy.
I know for the Rams as well. But then pulling Josh Jacobs to keep him fresh is a little bit less of a concern for me in this game. Because they have to win. If they lose, their playoff chances are all but eliminated. That being said, Jail, everything you said is why I lean that way. That matchup is beautiful.
17
for the Rams.
Minus 17.5 is the
God. That's screaming Cam Akers. Aaron Jones and Cam Akers. Sorry, Josh.
You take him with that line though. 17.5 Jets Rams.
Okay, Carson. If Gibson does end up playing, do I start him over Swift? What did you ask, Josh?
It doesn't matter. I think I'm taking the Rams even with the 17.5 point line.
Wow.
Yeah. That's how confident I am in their defense. I don't think the Jets are going to be able to do anything, and I know the Rams are going to be able to score some points. So I'm comfortable with that line, actually.
Such a massive line. It's crazy.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Speaking of massive lines, I know this is college football, but I saw today, I was just curious what the Clemson Notre Dame line was since we lost to them. It was with our true backup by 10.5 points.
10.5 points.
Clemson?
Yeah, Clemson is favored over Notre Dame. I know, but that's still an undefeated Notre Dame team that did beat us in double overtime. I know we had our backup quarterback in, but he's no slouch.
But it took them double overtime to beat us with our backup, who is he's no slouch, but he's definitely no Trevor.
He's no Trevor, but I was just a little bit surprised by that line, and I do think it'll be closer than that. I don't think we cover. And by we, I mean, in case you guys don't know, Jail and I are massive Clemson fans, Clemson alum, and Josh, I'm sure we'll convert him at some point.
Sure. I've throughout my whole life, I've rooted for WVU actually.
Okay. They had one. I've told you this before, but I have no problem with WVU because them beating the snot out of us in the Orange Bowl is what got us Brent Venables.
Exactly.
We fired our defensive staff, brought in Brent Venables, and I love Dabo, but Brent Venables is what he's done for that
history,
team
right?
is unreal. Okay, Carson wants to know if Gibson does end up playing, do I start him over Swift?
No. You don't. Gibson's not going to play. I'm here to tell you. Sorry. And if he does, he's not playing on your fantasy team, or he shouldn't be. I just don't. I don't trust that at all.
Me neither. Period. That turf toe can, even if they get back out on the field, it's a lot nastier than it sounds. Turf toe sounds kind of like cute, but it's not. It'll severely hamper his ability.
Absolutely.
Okay. Bench one PPR, Hopkins, Adams, AJ Brown, or Diggs. What the hell kind of team is this? You psycho. Bench AJ Brown.
Yeah. It's got to be AJ Brown, right?
This team is nuts. Your running back, if this is the same team that you just put the running backs for, Josh Jacobs, DeAndre Swift, Aaron Jones, Cam Akers, Hopkins, Adams, AJ Brown, and Diggs, then congrats on your title. That's wild. JL, which one are you benching?
Same, Brown.
Brown? Josh, are you benching Brown?
Brenching Brown.
Are you benching Brown?
I'm benching Brown.
You can't bench Davante Adams or Stephon Diggs. You can't do it.
Or Hopkins. I mean, you don't want to bench any of these players, really.
I was gonna say, if I had to pick anyone other than I would go Davante Adams, DeAndre Hopkins, Diggs, Brown.
Me too.
That's my order. And Diggs and Brown are somewhat close. So
they're all close.
I think I go Davante Adams, Diggs, Hopkins, Brown. But
locked in for me, and then the rest are kind of close. But AJ Brown.
The right Tim's got a question for us. Eckler or Akers this week?
Eckler.
In a PPR, definitely Eckler. In a standard league, I would go Akers.
Do we have news on Keenan Allen? Is Keenan Allen out officially?
He's not officially out. I don't. Last time I checked, which was just like 2 hours ago, he was still questionable. His game's tonight. I have him in one league against Simon, so I'm really hoping he plays. But we'll see. I don't know him as start if he doesn't play. So it'll either probably be Tim Patrick or Nelson Aguilar. So
so the Chargers, as of 4 hours ago, the Chargers are concerned they won't have Allen with this hamstring injury.
Or Mike Williams.
Or
right?
it's likely that he'll be limited.
Mike Williams, I think, is like more likely not to play.
Then I'm going Eckler. It is really close, but those two guys being out means Justin Herbert's probably going to rely on him even more for those dump offs. So I'll take Austin Eckler here.
Yeah, Eckler in both, any format.
Okay. PPR, choose 3 or 4. Jacobs, Montgomery, Mike Davis, James Robinson. Geez, what is up with these teams coming in here today? I guess it's playoff time. We're getting all the really good teams coming in.
Teams, right?
I feel like the questions all season were like gross questions. They'd be like McKissick or DeAndre Washington, and we'd have to like fight over it. But these are, you're just trying to pick the worst of the best in this scenario.
Oh, yeah.
JL, what would you do here?
3 of 4. I guess I'm benching Jacobs.
Jesus. Yeah. That sucks to say.
It does. It really does.
But I think I agree. It's just he has not been reliable when it comes down to it. He's not getting the workload. I know the Raiders need to win. I want to put Josh Jacobs in my lineup, but the rest of these guys have just been playing lights out.
Better, yeah.
I mean, I can't bench the other ones. That's the problem.
Yeah, I feel like usually my answer would be Montgomery, but he's been killing it and he's got a pretty good matchup this week. So I'm benching Jacobs here. That's wild. But that hurts my feelings a little. Curtis Samuel is in jeopardy of missing Saturday. Who do I flex? QT, Pittman, or Davis? Gabriel Davis. Gabriel Davis. I'm going Pittman. I like the matchup. I think he'll get a decent amount of targets. I'm going Pittman. I don't love these options, but he would be my favorite play out of these 3.
Now, I'm pretty sure Swamp plays in a half PPR league, which does change it a little bit for me.
Yeah.
That makes me think QT, but just by like a slim margin.
So both you guys are saying QT?
Yeah, if it's PPR, I'd go Pittman with you, Simon.
Gabriel Davis has been playing outstanding.
Yeah. He's been playing great as well.
He probably has, in my mind, the most upside, which is weird, but he's just not going to get the targets. QT didn't really get them last week either. Pittman probably had the most targets out of all these guys last week, but yeah, I would start QT.
Joshua says he's not lying. I don't think you're lying. I'm just in awe at that team. That's awesome.
Yeah, you can send us a picture if you're I don't know if it's able to.
Let's see. He says Gronk or Tunyon.
Tunyon.
Yeah. It's yeah. Oh.
They are.
That's a close one.
Gronk at Atlanta or Tunyon at Carolina or versus Carolina. So
both positive or really good matchups.
They're both pretty good matchups. I'm gonna go Tunyon just by a hair.
I'm gonna go Gronk.
I don't hate that. It's very close. Those are good options, but I just like the Tunyon matchup a little bit more. And I think with Gronk, there's more mouths to feed in that offense, and it can go away from him any given week pretty easily with Scotty Miller, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Antonio Brown. It's just it's a lot of different pieces that can get the ball. And a porous Atlanta defense, they may not have to be passing all that much after the first half. I don't know. So we'll see.
No, yeah. Tunyon's the safer play. Listen to these guys. Listen to Simon and Jail on that one. But I think I would be starting Gronk.
Listen to Josh. Josh, what was our water bet yesterday? I couldn't remember. It was you took McLaurin, and who did I take?
I thought it was a McKissick one.
Yeah, definitely McKissick.
No, it was
I think it was
McLaurin.
Miles Sanders.
Oh, it was Miles Sanders versus Terry McLaurin. That's what it was.
And I thought about that one a little bit more, and I don't like it as much as I like it.
I was surprised that both you guys took McLaurin, but
I still like McLaurin. He's one of my favorite receivers in the NFL.
So not even average says same question as last week. PPR pick 2 of 6. Swift, Brandon Cooks, Claypool, Landry, Akers, QT, flex, and wide receiver spot. So he needs at least one of these to be a wide receiver. The one that Akers, you're starting
standing
Akers.
out a lot.
So, but then you can't start Swift because I think the 2 I would start would be Swift and Akers, but one of them has to be a wide receiver.
Yeah.
So I'm starting Cam Akers, and then, man, it's a little tough after that.
Landry.
I was going to say I know it hasn't been super pretty for Landry recently, but they're playing against the Giants. I'm going to go Jarvis Landry. Brandon Cooks is close.
Claypool and Cooks, they're all close in my book, but I think I would go Landry.
JL, what about you?
I would go pick 2 of the 6, and one has to be a wide receiver.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going Cam Akers and Claypool.
Claypool over Landry.
Claypool over Landry. It's close. They're pretty even.
The thing that pushes Landry over Claypool for me is James Conner is reported as having a quad injury, and I know he's been bad recently, but that's going to make him even worse. And if he doesn't play, then you're left with Benny Smell and McFarland running that backfield, and that means it's going to be the same game plan we've seen from the Steelers for the past couple weeks, which is Big Ben throws the ball in less than a second every single time he touches it, which is not good for Claypool. Big Ben has to hold on to the ball for a couple seconds.
Yeah, it's against the Bengals.
Claypool.
It's against the Bengals, though, so it's not too bad of a matchup.
They
I don't expect
like to get him involved short a little bit, but yeah, he's more of a deep guy.
Swamp says he slept and thought about that Fournette pickup, and it seems like not many people have much faith in him. Yeah, I thought about it as well. I'm not picking him up. Let someone else start him in their roster because Rojo's out. I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah. I think it was JD McKissick or him, and I was going to meditate on it. I meditated, and I came to the decision that JD McKissick is the better play. But I think I 100% still believe Fournette will get the most carries for the Buccaneers this week.
Okay. Hey guys, at 3:30, if we haven't started horse yet, we're going to start, and we'll still keep answering questions. But today we are playing week 14 horse. We're going to do it. Andrew wants to know, bench Andrews for Henry since Keenan and Mike Will are most likely both out. No. Yeah, I wouldn't.
Week 15, you can't get cute with it, I don't think. It's Mark Andrews again. Again, that matchup is really favorable to him. At minus 13 line. I can't bench him.
No,
not week 15.
Me neither.
No.
Not even average wants to know. So Akers over Swift. Yep. Would you play Fournette?
Guaranteed.
Would you play Fournette if Curtis Samuel doesn't play? Not over those other options you talked about. He's below pretty much everybody that you brought up before, which is QT, Pittman, or Davis. I wouldn't start Fournette over any of them. Would you, Josh?
I don't love those wide receivers options, but no. I would still go with QT. Ugh.
JL, throw this one to you first. Rye V wants to know Herbert or Watson.
Why would you
answer will
him?
not surprise you?
The Texans they're playing the Colts.
I know they are, but it's Deshaun Watson. Doesn't matter.
Any bias thrown in there?
No, I don't think so. Deshaun Watson is going to make it happen either with his legs or he's going to make it happen in the air. Herbert is a good play. It's close. This is not like a for sure Watson. Like I think you could go whichever way you're feeling, honestly. But I like the I like Deshaun Watson's experience more. I like his use of his legs more, and I don't think matchups matter as much for him.
I hear you. I hear what you're saying. I'm starting Justin Herbert over Deshaun Watson, and that really hurts to say. I love Deshaun, but I like the matchup, and even without Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, you can still dump the ball off to Austin Eckler. The Raiders are not great against running backs. Those yards will add up, and I hate the Colts matchup. I'm going Herbert. Ugh. What about
Deshaun
you,
Watson for me?
Deshaun Watson?
And he did fine just 2 weeks ago when he played the Colts.
He did. Yeah. It is close.
He did pretty fine last week against Chicago, which is also not a great matchup.
The Texans didn't do so fine.
Texans did not do bad. But yeah, that's my point. Is like taking. I wouldn't take the matchup so much as that in fantasy, Deshaun's going to get his.
Yeah, I would go.
But like I said, it's very close. So if
especially
you want to
with
go Herbert,
Herbert,
I wouldn't blame you.
Maybe missing his top tier wide receiver.
That's the other thing. Yeah, that's a huge minus for him, in my opinion.
I hear you. I do think it's close.
It's so close.
I'm just going Herbert.
So close.
Not even average. Says his other two running backs are, I'm assuming Dalvin Cook and Eckler. So keep both of them and start Akers at flex. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh, that is a dirty team.
Non-PPR, so standard bench one: Amari Cooper, Cam Akers, Terry McLaurin. Oh, gosh, what do you think?
I'm benching Amari Cooper.
You're keeping Cam, no doubt about it.
Yeah, Cam's staying.
Yeah, that's easy.
Jail, what are you doing here?
I'm benching Cooper.
Oh, okay, cool.
Cool.
I actually thought both of you guys were going to go with McLaurin.
I think I'm going to go Cooper. I
was
love
on your
Amari
side
Cooper.
yesterday, Josh. I just didn't take the water bet.
They're playing,
Yeah, no, I get
against
it.
the 49ers. Pretty tough defense. I'm benching Amari Cooper in this situation.
Yeah.
Kevin, he says he has Aaron Jones' lineup for the first RB. And then who should he choose? What'd you say?
Congratulations.
On a title.
He's the best playoff running back.
I have Aaron Jones in my lineup. Who should I choose for the other RB spot? Akers or Robinson? Ooh.
Now that is spicy.
That's a fun question.
So the Jaguars are playing Baltimore.
This is standard league, he said.
Yeah. So in my mind, Akers has a lot more upside. But Robinson is so much safer. That's kind of what it comes down to in my mind. I think Robinson's guaranteed to get 20 touches, probably 15 touches at least. I expect Akers to get at least that, but we've seen what the Rams do. I'm gonna start James Robinson.
I'm gonna go Cam Akers. I like the matchup a lot. I'm gonna double down on that. I think Cam Akers is a really smart start this week, and James Robinson is hardly benchable. Hopefully, you've got room for him in your flex, and you can start all three of these guys. Because if you've got a better option, then that's just disgusting. But what about you, JL? Did you already say?
I'm going Cam Akers too. If it's depending on the format, it's PPR. It's really close. Or like half PPR. Standard, or PPR. I think I'm probably leaning Robinson.
I agree, JL. Yeah. I agree.
Standard, I'm more leaning Cam, and a half PPR, I'm like slightly leaning Cam.
In a half point PPR, I'm slightly leaning Robinson. So we're like kind of like right there. It looks like there's right there. But
it's a close one. But I don't think you're gonna go wrong either one of these. The only thing I'm thinking of is like I was trying to see while you were talking, Simon, I was trying to see when Jacksonville has been in a negative game script, what James Robinson workload did. Like, could he get game scripted out? It looks like his schedule has been really good. Like, he's only had a few bad matchups again, like hard matchups. The Colts in week 1, Miami week 3, Pittsburgh in week 11, Cleveland week 12, and Chicago in week 16.
Oh, that felt good. Say it again.
Cleveland in week 12.
Oh, and that was a what kind of matchup?
It was a bad matchup.
Oh man,
Bad.
I can't believe that.
So against this, Baltimore is not particularly stout against the run, but if Jacksonville gets down a lot and they throw a ton, I'm not saying that will like get, they won't include James Robinson in those, but just something to think of versus like Cam Akers against the Jets. It's going to be hard to be really that far down from the Jets.
Okay. Oh, before we move on, he's got Ayuk in his flex spot. So would you go? He's got Aaron Jones, Akers, and Robinson, and then Ayuk. I would start those 3 running backs over Ayuk.
Me too.
Yeah,
Ayuk could blow up.
it's close. Yeah, really good matchup against Dallas.
This is standard, right? He said.
He did not say.
Yeah,
You know what? If this is PPR, I'm throwing Brandon Ayuk in over James Robinson. I think if it is standard, I'm throwing James Robinson in. Yeah, I just think Ayuk is going to be hyper targeted with Debo out.
I think I would stick with the running backs, but I would play James Robinson in PPR. You the same, Josh?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, this one I like. Standard: Zeke, CEH, or Jeff Wilson, assuming Mostert is out.
Guess what?
I'm going to start Jeff Wilson.
Yeah.
Over Zeke and CEH if Mostert's out. That's where I'm going with this. And that sounds disgusting, but I don't think we talked about like not getting cute with Mark Andrews or anything. I don't think this is getting cute. I think this is just looking at what's going on with these teams, who they're playing, and what has happened when Jeff Wilson is the lead back for the 49ers. It looks cute, but I don't think it is. And I would go Jeff Wilson.
He's got the clear best matchup.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll go Jeff Wilson too. That's feels disgusting.
Okay, Sean says, I think I asked.
It's so gross.
That's really gross.
Sean says, I think I asked this already, but I'm still torn. Pick 2 PPR: Tyler Lockett, Juju Smith-Schuster, T.Y. Hilton, Jeff Wilson Jr. I'm leaning T.Y. and Juju currently. I don't trust Lockett, man.
I think it's fair not to trust Lockett.
Yeah, I totally get that. And I think yesterday I said to start Lockett, but after the stream I was thinking more about it, and I have benched him in one of my leagues.
Pick 2. I'm going to go Hilton and Lockett.
I think I'm going to go.
Maybe I'll go Jeff Wilson. Oh,
yeah, that's where I'm sitting.
You didn't like Jeff Wilson very much yesterday.
Who did?
I'm going to go.
Yeah.
I don't remember that. This is a new day.
All right.
I think I'm, and I said Lockett yesterday, I'm pretty sure, but this is one of those ones that I understand why you're still torn. I'm probably riding the hot hand with T.Y. Hilton. It's crazy to me that Hilton's the clear start out of this, but I think Jeff Wilson's my second one. I think I'm going T.Y. Hilton and Jeff Wilson. I agree, Jay. Though you said Lockett originally, but you said you were considering Wilson.
Yeah, Lockett's matchup isn't great against Washington, and that makes me nervous. And usually if I have to choose between wide receiver and running back, I tend towards running back. It's a little safer.
Swamp says, LOL, it's 3:30. Okay, you are right. We'll jump into Fantasy Horse. Let's answer just one more question from Eric. I have to place Keenan in PPR. I have Sterling Shepard, Kiki QT, James Conner, and Lynn Bowden. I think I go – Shepard's got a good matchup against the Browns. Their secondary is pretty bad, but Colt McCoy is looking like he's going to start a quarterback again. So I think for me that pushes Bowden up to the person I'd start over Keenan Allen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think I like Kiki Kuti as well.
Yeah, I like Kiki I like Kiki and James Conner. I like all 3 of these guys more than Bowden, honestly.
James
really?
Conner.
James Conner's hobbled. Quad injury. James Conner's the bottom of the barrel for me on this one. Okay, Josh, you are hosting Fantasy Horse this week. It's 3:33. I lied a little bit about what time we're starting, but you can dive right in.
All right. Well, guys, we're gonna play Fantasy Horse now. It's about time, right? It's been a couple days coming. But so I assume most people know how to play horse. I kind of forget sometimes, so I'm gonna just read off these rules that I've written down here. Not joking. But essentially, I'll ask a football related question to one of the contestants here. The person that I asked will then decide if he wants to answer the question himself, or he can make the other person answer the question. If the person that answers the question answers incorrectly, he will receive a letter. But if the person answering the question is correct, the other person gets a letter. First one to spell out horse, HORSE, loses the game. It's pretty simple.
Horse.
We'll see how it goes.
Okay. Amari Cooper or Akers? Rapid fire. Akers.
Akers.
Yeah, slam dunk Akers. Least worst tight end start this week: Cole Kmet, Kyle Rudolph, or Jonnu Smith. I'm going Cole Kmet.
Least worst.
It's Cole
So
Kmet.
who would you start? I think it's Cole Kmet.
I mean, Kyle Rudolph, it would be Irv Smith, I think, replacing Kyle Rudolph there. But Cole Kmet.
Cole Kmet.
Wow, we've been in agreement a lot today. Okay, you ready, Josh? Who's going first? Me or JL?
We're gonna go jail.
Oh.
Yeah. Simon seemed to like to go second here. Are you ready, JL?
I'm ready.
All right, we're gonna get right in there, boys. So, JL, Derrick Henry, you know him?
I've heard of him. Yep.
He had a pretty good week. You might even say a winning week in week 14. He scored more than every other NFL player. My question for you is, in a PPR league, did Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, and Irv Smith Jr. combine for more than his 36.2 fantasy points? What do you think, Joe?
PPR league, Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, and Irv Smith Jr. combined for more than 36.2 points. Gosh, I had Justin Jefferson in a league too, so I should know this.
I know how many he scored in a PPR league because I lost.
But it's people watching, feel free to guess if you would like. Also, feel free to keep asking questions. We'll get to them when we can.
I'm gonna ask my dog real quick.
All right,
I'm gonna take this.
You're gonna take it.
I'm gonna say that they did.
You think that they scored a combination of Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, and Irv Smith scored more than Derrick Henry in week 14?
I know Irv Smith had a really good game. I know that he was top 5. Justin Jefferson didn't have a crazy game.
It was a pretty bad game. I think he had like 7 PPR fantasy points or something like that.
Yeah, that's fine. That's not the worst. That's like what he was there on your team. And Dalvin Cook, I think, had a slightly above average game. Yeah, I think it's more than 36.2.
All right. Well, like I already said, Derrick Henry had 36.2. Dalvin Cook, he actually had 19 points. Okay. Justin Jefferson actually came away with 9.9.
9.9.
And Irv Smith Jr. had 16.3, giving them all together 45.2, which is obviously more than 36.2. Good job, JL.
Thank you.
It seemed like they had to have, like, those 3 players just really had to have had more than that. But the fact that you asked it threw me for a loop. I was like, I don't know.
I actually, when I first formulated this question, I had, instead of Irv Smith in there, I had Adam Thielen in there. And they did combine for less than 36.2, but it was too close. It was like 35.8. And I was like, I don't want to do that to you guys.
That's Josh math. I got an H. Give me my question.
All right. Look, Simon is now losing.
You keep asking questions and we will get to them in between rounds.
All right, Simon, your question's coming up. Calvin Ridley, he also just had a great game. He scored 26.4 PPR fantasy points. Was week 14 Calvin Ridley's best fantasy performance of the season?
Calvin Ridley did have a good week. Calvin Ridley was the one player that stopped me from getting a 5-pick flex play on Prize Picks perfectly right. I got the other 4 right, and I thought Calvin Ridley without Julio, he hasn't been super good without him on the field. Matt Ryan's gonna have a poop game, and Matt Ryan did have a poop game, but Calvin Ridley showed up. Now, if you remember, whenever we did a mock draft after like 4 weeks of the season, I ended up taking Calvin Ridley as like the 3rd wide receiver. And that was because he was absolutely killing it through the first couple weeks of the season. I have to think that one of his games that early, because he was like the number 1 wide receiver through a couple weeks. I'm going to say that he did have a game that was more than 26.4 PPR fantasy points earlier this year.
You sure you don't want to pass it?
No, I'm going to take it.
Well, it looks like Simon is taking this question, and he's saying that this is not Calvin Ridley's best performance of the season. Correct?
Correct.
All right. Well, Simon, you're correct. He actually had 2.
I feel like you were trying to come up with like a dramatic way to do it, and you're like, oh, screw it.
Simon, you're correct.
Well, no. I was trying to think of a better way to say it, but you're just simply correct. There's 2 games he actually scored more than this amount of points, and it was week 1 against the Seahawks and week 2 against the Cowboys.
I was
Like
right
30
there.
points, didn't he?
So perfect. What's up?
Didn't he have like 30 points on both those or around there?
He had 33.9 against the Seahawks and 29.9 against the Cowboys.
Nice.
Crazy time to be alive.
Nice job. H to H.
It's H, boys. It's a close one.
Oh, sorry. I'm popping into the comments between questions to look at it. Sean wants to know Jared Cook or Irv Smith Jr. this week. Guys, there was some Jared Cook hate going on earlier in here. When I was driving around this morning, I was sitting there and I was thinking, you know what? I want to give people full confidence to start Jared Cook against the Chiefs this week.
Do you know what you're bringing on yourself?
I love Jared Cook this week against the Chiefs. I think he's a top 5 tight end against the Chiefs this week. That's my bold prediction. More likely top 10, like he's startable, but I think there's a very real chance Jared Cook is a top 5 tight end against the Chiefs this week. I'm starting Jared Cook. I am starting him over Jordan Reed in a league I have and Tyler Higbee. I know those aren't tall barriers to pass, but I really like this matchup for him because I think the Chiefs are going to shut down their wide receivers. And I think Jared Cook's going to be open over the middle of the field. And I think the Saints are going to just pepper him with targets. So especially in a PPR league, I'm going Jared Cook. What about you guys?
Man, after that, I feel bad saying Irv Smith.
Joe, you're going Jared Cook, but not with the thunder that I got.
No, I'm not saying he's top 5. Hell no. Hell no. That is some wild.
Both of these guys are like lower tight end 2 options, really, when it comes down to it. But yeah.
I'm hyped about Jared Cook this week. Maybe there is a chance. I just want to put a disclaimer out there. Maybe I'm talking myself into it because I have to start him, but I don't think so. I think I really do like this matchup.
It's definitely not the worst matchup.
I like Irv Smith's involvement the last few weeks, and I don't trust Cook at all. So I would go Irv Smith.
Sean killing it on that Ridley question. Same thought process. Great minds think alike. Nice job, Sean. Okay, you guys ready?
Yep.
Oh, I'm ready.
You guys
you're up next. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. This one's a little bit easier. This one's a little bit more simple. Who had more catches in week 14? Austin Eckler or Devontae Adams?
I don't know who that second player is.
That's Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams.
I'm not sure who that is.
Yeah, that's spelled perfectly right.
It's spelled perfectly right. Who had more catches? Devontae Adams.
Yes.
Wait, is this a trick question because there is no Devontae Adams?
Exactly.
Okay, I feel like this is a trap. Josh, you're trying to trick me.
It's a trap.
I'm going to go Eckler.
You're going to say Eckler had more catches than Devontae Adams?
Devontae Adams, yeah.
Is it a double trap?
It's a double trap. I almost got you. So Devontae Adams
Do you remember in the time that he revealed to you, Simon, that you were correct?
Yeah, I'm just loving your answer reveals. Like I can see the wheels turning, and then you're like, "Yep, you're right."
So maybe you're right, maybe you're wrong. I'm not sure. I am sure. Devontae Adams had 10 targets, 7 catches. Austin Eckler had 9 targets, 9 catches. So he had more catches.
Ooh, it
Nice.
was a trap.
What a reveal!
Oh, I just gave you a letter, JL. That letter goes to me because you got it right.
Simon, that letter.
I'm a hoe.
Simon, you're losing. Good job, JL. Are you ready for the next question?
I'm ready. We're killing it so far. Who's going to be the first one to miss one?
All right. Easy. Again, pretty simple question. Who had more pass yards in week 14? Taysom Hill or Josh Allen?
Is this a trap? Oh, God. So it almost feels like a double trap because you would think the answer would be Josh Allen, obviously, immediately whenever you look at it. And then I was like, okay, but what about their games? Like, what happened? And then the Bills won against the Steelers and the Saints lost against the Eagles. And then I'm thinking like, well, that makes me think Josh Allen even more. Like, but you know, and Diggs was the wide receiver 1 on the week overall. I have to go Josh Allen. I'm gonna say Josh Allen. If this is a trap, you got me. But I was looking at Josh Allen and I remembered the games. He supported the top wide receiver on the entire week. Josh Allen. Final answer.
So Simon is going with Josh Allen. Well, Taysom Hill actually had the 5th most passing yards this week with 291.
Ooh.
And Josh Allen actually only had the 15th most passing yards with 238.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Simon.
No.
I was kind of surprised too. I was kind of surprised. So I'm sorry to throw that little like tricky one in there for you, but unfortunately you were wrong.
I said Hill. I said Hill.
You know what you are now.
I should have known you weren't tricky enough to do a double tricky one. I thought you double trickied me, but you just single trickied.
Impossible.
Okay. I'm an HOR. I got some comeback to do. Comeback to do.
What do you guys think? Jacobs, James Robinson, Cam Akers, PPR, pick 2. I think we kind of had a similar question, and I think Cam Akers and James Robinson for me, and I think it's going to be
unanimous.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Easy enough. Akers and James Robinson.
More questions in here. You guys still there?
Yeah, I thought you were throwing up. Whenever you said we have more questions in there, I assumed you were throwing them up.
Right.
Trey, full PPR, choose 2. Deontay Johnson, Robert Woods, Brandon Cooks, or Swift? Robert Woods and Swift. That's what I say. I feel like you got to start Robert Woods. I love DeAndre Swift this week. Deontay Johnson has – I said it yesterday. I'll say it again today. I am too nervous with other good options to start a player that can get benched for dropping 1 pass in the first quarter.
He dropped more than 1 pass.
I know, but I'm saying he's now on the point where if he has a bad drop in the first quarter, you could not see him for the entire game. And in the fantasy semifinals, I am too nervous to take a risk on a player like that. So with options like Woods and Swift available, I'll bench Deontay Johnson.
Yeah, it sucks doing, but I think I would do the same just because of exactly what you said, Simon. I think Johnson's a great start if there wasn't that scare, so.
Yeah, I agree. It's close between Swift and Johnson, but I'm leaning Swift. And Woods is a lock.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we trust Josh Jacobs this week? Yeah.
Trust him? I would say no, because he's not where he normally is. He's I would say he's lower in the running back ranks than he normally would be.
Yeah, but I think he's a top 20 guy.
Trusting.
Like he's a top 20 guy. So do I trust him? Yeah. To be a top 20 running back. To be at least an RB2. Now, that doesn't mean if you've got other options like the question we just answered, who are the 2 options? Cam Akers and who else? Robinson. Then you're benching Jacobs out of those 3, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, he's still, to me, he's still like a very, very low RB1, high RB2. So I think he'll be all right. But yeah, the trust issues comes just from us expecting him to be in like top 5.
Yeah, it depends what you're trusting them to be. If you're trusting them to not kill your team, then yeah, we trust them.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys ready?
Yep,
I'm ready.
I think that was all the questions.
All right, JL, I believe you're up next. All right. Well, okay. JL, in a PPR league, put these tight ends in order, starting with the most points in Week 14. TJ Hawkinson, Mike Gesicki, Darren Waller.
Teams in order with the most points in Week 14. TJ Hawkinson, Darren Waller. Okay. I'm going to take this one.
I know one of them, and then I was unsure on the other two. So thanks for taking it.
I know. All right. I think I know this. The reason is because I started to come up with questions for this game on Tuesday when you guys weren't going to be here. And two of these guys are in the top 5, if I remember correctly.
I think you do.
And so I'm going to go Gesicki, Hawkinson, Waller. Gesicki, Hawkinson, Waller.
You're right, JL.
That's what I would have said. I was unsure if I was pretty sure Gesicki finished above TJ Hawkinson, but I started having doubts. I knew Waller was last out of these 3, but
yeah, I don't know where Waller finished, but I know it was outside of the top 5.
Yeah. Damn it, JR.
Correct. You are correct.
You got it right. Swamp Nola got it right.
People killing it.
So long.
This could be a quick game of horse, boys.
Yeah. Maybe we started too early. We could have started at 3:45. JL knocked me out. Trey wants to know, to follow full PPR, choose 3: Chris Godwin, DJ Moore, Melvin Gordon, Josh Jacobs, Marvin Jones, or Swift. For me, definitely Chris Godwin and DeAndre Swift are the 2 clear ones.
Lots of Swift questions.
And then I think I'm going Josh Jacobs for the 3rd one. I'm not so sure. I don't. DJ Moore scares me a little bit because he wasn't great before. Maybe he's still having some lingering COVID issues. Melvin Gordon and Marvin Jones aren't close to Jacobs, in my opinion. So I'm going Chris Godwin, DeAndre Swift, and Josh Jacobs. What about you guys?
I have the same exact choices.
John Lucas, you got anything different? Are you taking Swift out of there and throwing in?
No.
Let me guess. You want to start Marvin Jones?
No, but he's not like he's very close to Swift, so it's not like absurd. But I do have him lower than Swift. So
If Matthew Stafford's not playing, there's no way I start Marvin Jones.
I would go Godwin, Swift, and Jacobs.
Nice. Cool.
Unanimous.
We are in agreement yet again. Okay,
right.
My turn for the game. If I get it wrong,
Simon, do not get this one wrong. Okay. Oh, that's pretty cool. In a league with 4 points per passing touchdown, give me 3 of the highest scoring, 3 of the 5 highest scoring fantasy quarterbacks in week 14.
Okay.
You playing or passing?
I'm playing. I don't want you to beat me by getting it right. Know what I mean? If let's put my fate in my own hands. I want to be in charge of my own destiny here.
Well, you know it's Tom Brady. You know he's.
I know 2 of them. They're from the same game.
Cousins.
It was the game of the year.
Poop game.
And I'm almost positive that both Baker Mayfield and Lamar Jackson are in the top 5 quarterbacks this week. So I just need to give you a 3rd one. And I am panicking a little bit because there's a couple names that come to mind. Some of them really gross, but they had great weeks. Oh God, no.
Sorry, talking so slow so you can get yourself.
I think there's multiple players that could be in this position of the other 2 spots here. Do I just he had Patrick Mahomes threw 3 interceptions, but he also came back and just was an awesome second. Tua had a great game too. Oh man. Okay. You know what? We're going Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield, and Tua Tagovailoa.
You locking it in?
I'm locking it in.
All right, let's do a nice little countdown, shall we?
Yeah, read them to me in order.
You made a
All
real
right.
big mistake not saying Brady.
So in a league with 4 points per passing touchdown,
Can you
the
start at
number
1?
1
Okay.
scoring fantasy quarterback was Lamar Jackson with 34.92 fantasy points.
Okay. We
He's
got it.
number
so
2,
far.
Aaron Rodgers with 30.9
that was an
fantasy
easy
points.
one. I was overthinking it.
Number 3, Baker Mayfield
Yep.
with 30.02 fantasy points. Number 4, Tua Tagovailoa
Shoot.
with 27.04 fantasy points. And last but not least,
Dang it.
maybe least, actually, I lied. Definitely least,
Uh,
Drew Lock with 25.6 fantasy points.
I remember the reason I didn't think Aaron Rodgers is because I remember being a bunch of ones, like weird ones for the week. I couldn't remember Drew Lock, but I remember looking at it thinking like, oh God, what a gross top 5. Even like Lamar Jackson hasn't really been there much this year. So Lamar Jackson, Baker, Drew Lock, and Tua making up 4 of the top 5. Oh, that felt good. I was unsure on Tua, but I was pretty sure he snuck in there. So
He definitely had a great game. I started him in one league, and it won me the league. Yeah, it won me. Well, it was a 2 quarterback league, but still
nice.
I had a good time.
JL.
All right. So JL is a HO, and Simon is an HORS. JL, you're up next, and if you get this one right, Simon loses and you win.
All right, let's wrap up. We'll have 10 minutes to spare, answer any questions. Nice and quick right here.
All right. So I always knew that I wanted to use this one as the last question, regardless of where we were. And I don't know if it's going to be last. We'll just keep going down the list if it's not. But I don't even know why I like this one.
Let me get out of the comments. I just thought it was funny. Apple MVP just straight up like, Simon, Rodgers balled out.
Yeah.
I mean,
A lot of
I know. He balled out. I forgot. I was overthinking it, Apple, but we got there. It's okay.
All right, JL. In a PPR league, choose the player with the least amount of fantasy points in week 14. Cam Akers, T.Y. Hilton, or Nick Chubb.
Wow.
That easy little layup question with the Lamar
quarterbacks one.
Oh, can you give me this?
Yeah, the only reason I would agree with you there, Giles, the Lamar and Baker one. If you watch that game,
everyone watched that game, and it's your team.
Then you knew they were in the top 5. But the third one was a little tricky.
That one was easier than this. I think this is a lot easier. It's multiple choice. You just got to pick one.
Yeah, this one's easy, Jay. I'll get it right.
You don't even have to.
I hate you, Josh. Okay.
Harder to look up, I guess.
I know T.Y. had another big game.
Ooh, the light in here just got weird.
Boy, what is up with that? All right, I know Chubb had a really good game because I was playing against him, and I needed him not to get 36.5 points to knock me out of the playoffs, and he did not. He got like 27 or something, and that's PPR league. And I have Cam Akers in that league, and I think I started him. I think it's Cam Akers here. Could be T.Y. Hilton.
Did you consider Chubb got extra points because it was a poop per reception league and Lamar Jackson pooped his pants?
That's true. I didn't consider that, but I don't think it changes my answer. I think it's Cam Akers. He had 21 points or something around there in my league that I had him in, which was very exciting. But Hilton, I think, had more. So I'm going to go Akers.
I would have said Hilton if you passed it to me, but I'm not confident.
Well, in a PPR league, Cam Akers had 21.4 points.
Nice, JL.
Thank you.
Nick Chubb had 24.3 points.
I thought he had more.
And T.Y. Hilton had 25.6.
Oh,
yes.
Giving Cam Akers the least amount of fantasy points in this group.
Fantasy
points. Also giving JL the win. Man, it was a dominant performance today by JL.
Thank you. I think it was all that prep right. Having to come up with all the questions on my own.
You did?
I'm going to have to start doing that now for every week. That was pretty good. Oh, I like the little gallop with it.
That was me warning you. I'm going to charge.
I'm angry.
I don't take losing well. My dog's really confused. He's like, "What the hell are you doing?" Oh, he's hiding under the table now.
I like that tradition that we have to do the horse noise.
You have to do the horse noise whenever you're done. Good game, JL. I'll give it to you.
Thank you.
I'll concede. Okay. Swamp wants to know our favorite Christmas movie, but too early. So what Christmas movie do y'all think is overrated? I guess he'll ask us our favorite Christmas movie next week, but overrated Christmas movie.
A Christmas movie is super overrated.
You mean A Christmas Story?
That one, yeah, that one.
Yeah, I don't love that one.
That one really, like, I hate watching it. I hate when
What's
it's
the
on. I hate the
stupid? What's the stupid, dumb, old black and white one they play on TV? It's a Wonderful Life.
Wonderful Life, yeah.
Blech!
It's a solid movie.
No, it's overrated. Why would I watch that when I could watch? You know what? I'm not going to spoil my favorite one. I'm gonna leave it be. I'll give you my second. What's the one with It's not my favorite, but it's up there. The one with Jack Black and the other person, and they like switch houses for
The Holiday.
The Holiday. Is that a Christmas, movie? If there's Christmas in it, if Die
There
Hard's
is Christmas in it, but it's not
if
a
Die
Christmas
Hard's
movie.
a Christmas movie, then The Holiday is a Christmas
Ugh.
movie.
Why? With Cameron Diaz and who's the other-
Reese Witherspoon.
No, it's not Reese Witherspoon.
just-
Are you talking about Four Christmases?
No,
With
I'm not.
Vince
talking
Oh,
about-
Vaughn?
maybe.
I'm not. I'm talking about
No,
the holiday. I'm specifically talking about The Holiday. I just
Holiday,
said I
yeah.
know Reese
Where
Witherspoon.
the
not in it.
woman from England goes and swaps
Yeah.
houses with the woman from America.
Yep, and falls in love with Jack
Each of
Black.
them falls in love with a man in each other's country or something.
Great movie.
It's
That sounds
not.
horrible.
It's a great
fantastic.
movie.
I mean, it's not fantastic.
I may just go with like any Christmas movie that they put on the Hallmark Channel. No, I'm joking. No, but she said overrated, so I don't know what movie
Not
Christmas
one.
movies are highly rated.
Wait, I just saw today. There's a new Christmas movie coming out, or maybe it just came out with Mel Gibson playing like a violent, drunk, vengeful Santa Claus.
Bad
God.
Santa 4.
I think it's called like Fat Man or something like that. He's like he's like out for revenge or something.
Oh God,
That's
So I'm gonna go ahead and say that one before I've even seen it. That's my answer.
I honestly like JL's answer of A Christmas Story. I never was a big fan of that movie.
no.
It
I think-
kind of gave me anxiety.
I like my answer of It's a Wonderful Life.
And that's fine. I think that's a good
What's a
movie,
favorite
actually.
one? Are we not allowed to ask? It's too early.
Let's go ahead and do our favorites. Sorry, Swamp, we're spoiling it. Mine is The Grinch with Jim Carrey.
That's a pretty good one. I like that.
I always forget how funny it is every year, and then I turn it on and I am like dying in laughter the whole time.
Elf or A Christmas Vacation. It's hard to choose.
Dr. Chalupa says all movies give you anxiety, Josh.
Yeah, just anxiety-filled ones.
Sorry, go ahead. What's your favorite, Josh? You said Elf or what, JL?
Christmas Vacation.
Okay.
Yeah. Jingle All the Way is my favorite.
Jingle All the Way.
I don't
I'm
know.
not even sure I've seen that. I'm gonna have to check it out. Swamp coming in with one that I didn't even consider. That's actually pretty funny. 8 Crazy Nights.
Jingle All the Way, the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I have not seen that.
No, neither have
I've seen it like 100 different times, but I love that movie. It's hilarious.
You
Is-
know, I
go
love
ahead.
the people who say Die Hard is their favorite Christmas movie.
I don't.
That's fun. That's really fun.
Yeah, that
It's a
definitely
Christmas
doesn't skip the spirit of the question at all.
Yeah.
Whenever you say that, all that happens is you get to talk about whether or not Die Hard is a Christmas movie. You
Yeah.
don't actually talk about what your favorite Christmas movie is.
No, it's
100%.
it's a Christmas movie.
See,
There
we
you
brought
go.
it up one time, and that's exactly what's going on.
What's the movie with the Heat Miser and the Frost Miser?
That's
The
Rudolph, right?
That's not Rudolph. You know what it is, Maria? We used to play on ABC Family all the time growing up. Come on, guys. A year
Um,
without Santa Claus. There it is. That's a classic.
A Year Without Santa Claus
Hmm.
is Rise of the Guardian the Christmas movie.
Never heard of that.
The one with all the like mythical creatures like Santa and Jack Frost and the Sandman and the Easter Bunny and the Tooth Fairy. Jack Frost is like the main guy.
Still do not know.
Check it
Never
out.
seen it.
It's a good one. I'm gonna have to watch Jingle All the Way.
Ooh, is Nightmare Before Christmas a Halloween or Christmas movie? I think it's a Halloween.
I think it's a Christmas movie.
Ooh. It's both. It's Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving is what you get. Halloween plus Christmas equals Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So
In between.
Okay.
I think the Heat Miser and all that stuff's in Rudolph the
you
Red-Nosed
are-
Reindeer.
All right, it
Just
is
so you
in
know.
Rudolph, but the movie I'm thinking about is The Year Without Santa Claus,
Okay.
which is
The
where
movie-
Santa decides not to go and deliver all his gifts.
And that's a good one or a bad one?
It's a good one. It's a classic.
Okay,
I mean,
gotcha.
good in like the sense that like it's, I don't know if it's like a good movie. It's just something I grew up on.
Oh, gotcha.
I feel you. I feel you. What about a Harold and Kumar Christmas? Just kidding. That's
It's a good one.
now I'm gonna ask one more question before we jump off. We'll hop off after this. In the Christmas spirit, favorite Christmas song?
Christmas shoes. No, I'm just kidding.
Tim Allen's Santa Claus, overrated? No, I think it's properly rated. It's about where, like, they're fun to watch. They are fun to watch. It's not my favorite.
That's the one with what's her name from Freaky Friday and all those other stuff.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis.
You mean Tim Allen, the one with Tim Allen?
Tim Allen.
Yeah.
Well, you already said Tim Allen, but I was saying with also Jamie Lee Curtis, right?
Yep.
I completely agree with Simon. Perfectly mediocre.
Yep. Okay, Josh, favorite Christmas song? Go.
I don't know, like
I don't know. Okay, fine. I'll go first while you guys think of it.
I don't have
Mine
a
is
favorite,
Christmas Rapping by the Waitresses.
Never heard of it.
It's one that goes, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas.
really. Do.
Yeah, that
Merry
one.
Christmas.
That one.
I can sing like every Christmas song, I feel like. My dad was a Christmas nut. But I guess I'll go with just like I really like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I don't know why. It's so dumb, but I can sing the whole song to you right now.
What's your favorite song? I really dig Twinkle Twinkle. That shit's my jam.
Classic.
Row,
I'm not
row
going to be
your
jamming out to
freaking
any
boat.
Christmas songs. I'm going to be honest to you guys. I'm going to be honest with you guys, you know?
Mary had a little lamb. Sorry, Judge. Okay, JL, what about you? What's your favorite Christmas song?
Oh God, I feel like I actually have an answer to this, but I just haven't thought about it in so many years. But I'm just gonna go with John Legend's Christmas album is really good because that's like the most recent like Christmas songs I've listened to.
Okay, that's a good one.
He's allowed to say a whole album? If there's Rudolph on that album, I swear to God.
Yeah, but you like the old school, like original Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yeah, all the old school songs.
Yeah, that's funny. Swamp, I cannot click on that link because whenever I click on it, it just shows it on the screen. And then on the screen, I can't copy and paste it. So
we'll look at it after.
Afterwards, I'll look at it and see what it is. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. You know that he did have a very shiny nose.
Simon, what is going on with your lighting right now? You look like you're like a artsy noir. Why are you gonna make that face for artsy noir?
What face would you recommend for artsy noir?
Yeah, that one.
Okay. Okay. That's enough from us talking about Christmas. If you guys have more fantasy football related questions, shoot them to us on Twitter. I'm at FYF Simon. Josh is at FYF Josh. And John Luke is at FYF John Luke. Josh, you, Swamp Nola says it's just Sleigh Bell's trap song. Wait, I have something funny related to trap that I wanted to bring up. I found it out yesterday. My Spotify 2020 Wrapped, my number 3 genre was escape room. And I was like, what the hell is escape room as a genre of music? And so I looked it up, and the guy who came up with the genres on Spotify just decided to start making things up for things that were adjacent. And escape room is like adjacent to trap, but like a little bit more poppy than trap is. And it's a play on being trapped. You're trapped, but you're in an escape room so you could get out.
What?
That's why it's called escape room. It's like trap, but you can get out.
Find that answer.
I Googled what is escape room, and apparently lots of other people had the same question for me. It's artists like Charlie XCX.
They put like every rapper in just pop rap. It's just like sometimes their genre making is not good.
No, but apparently I love escape room music. Okay,
that checks out.
Josh, you got anything to say to us before we jump off?
Yeah. Trading makes fantasy fun, guys. Keep it in mind. I know most people can't trade right now, but get it to it when you can.
Wait till we can trade.
All
right. Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, and Vixen. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern time, not 2 p.m. We will be back live. Tim and Eric are joining us. Guys, go trade. Trading is fun. You're starting a movement. Josh.
Trading us fun.
It's a great time. It's a great time.
Trading us fun.
Trading us